And we're recording. Welcome to the DQ Lifestyle Podcast with me, Marcus. And today we're going to talk about needs and wants. So let's get straight into it. Needs and wants. So growing up, as I've already said, there was some neglect there. So my love needs aren't there. The needs, so I need to go through them again. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's Abraham Maslow. And it come up with this theory about the hierarchy of needs. I won't go into it, just Google it. You'll get it. It's got a triangle there, some basic needs at the bottom, food, air, water, etc., sex. Second tier is security needs, security of self, financial security. They're like the basic needs. And then you've got like the other needs. I forgot what them top three are called. But there's a couple of stage models. So there's the 5-stage model that I go off. There's the 7-stage model and the 8-stage model. I think Abraham Maslow came with a 5-stage model, and as with anything, I think it develops over time. That's why we still don't answer phones like this. You know what I mean? iPhone. Hey, hello. Anyway. Then the one after that is belonging. So it's on order of importance, what's needed first. So obviously you need food, air, water, sex, even basic need. It's like a primal thing, whether we could communicate or not. If we couldn't speak, it'll be something that we get the urge for. And it's probably for the progression of humanity or whatever. Then we need to be safe and secure. So I'm always going to think back to like cavemanish kind of thing is. Then they're going to need like a rock kind of, we've seen Flintstones. They're going to need somewhere to get out of the shelter, get out of the weather, where it's too hot or too cold or raining, getting away from predators, whatever. If we just go down that route, do you know what I mean? It just makes it easy to think about. Then we've got love and belonging, like just being loved and belonging to something. So belonging to a community or belonging to your own family and being loved by family and friends. It's important. And then we have esteem needs, like being known for something, being like being held in a certain regard for something. So obviously we all know Albert Einstein, not for his football skills. He might have been a banging player. We don't know because we hold him in like high esteem over his scientific achievements. Ronaldo might be a fucking whiz at maths. We don't care. He's held in high regard and esteem over his footballing skills. And obviously your boy here, Mr. Marcus. No, don't Google Mr. Marcus. Mad stuff will come up. I'm held in high regard because of podcasting. And you know what I mean? You guys make it happen. You guys you get me? Anyway, but all jokes aside. So that's how we're known, what we're known for. We like to be known for something. And that's why people anyway, I won't go on that side, but yeah, it's coming. And then the top one, that's 4 done. 5th one is the top piece, which is, shouldn't have done that. There's going to be some stuff said. Self-actualization. Self-actualization. So let's just say once belly's full, you're drunk, you've watered, you're having sex. Let's just say having regular sex. What else is at the bottom? So you got security needs, you're financially secure, you're at risk of being attacked by anything, you're safe and sound, you've got shelter. Let's just use CrossFit as an example, or football. So you got your team and the managers and stuff and all that around you, so you belong to something there. You've got good relationship at home, family, mum, dad, whether they're together or not, it's all good in your eyes. You feel like you belong there. You feel loved and cared for, because when you need support, turn to them. They're there to do something. They don't let you down or turn their back on you, like brothers and sisters or whatnot. Going up again, you're known for your footballing attributes, within your mates. You've so it's he's a proper sick footballer, or my man's a girl, you know what I mean? He gets together. Or even she's a manis, anyone's there. But I don't think society looks it in a good light. But she was she's smart, she's smashing it on the university thing, she's driving already, whatever we might be held in high regard for, she can sing, he can rap, whatever it could be, taking it up a level again. Now, once all those things are covered, we are at a stage where we can be all we can be, whatever that may be. Go on any endeavor. Not saying you're going to smash it, Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, do you know what? I'm fed and that. I've had something to drink. I've got a good job. I live, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cared for. I'm gonna be the new Beyonce. Like, no, no. But it would be harder for Beyonce to be able to. You've probably even seen it. Like, just for them singers, Beyonce as an example. Like, I don't fully know her story, but I'm just gonna guess some stuff and just make some stuff up to make it fit, kind of thing. But it'd be hard for Beyonce, for us to know Beyonce as we know her, if she was struggling to eat, if she didn't have shelter, if she was crawling from like abandoned building to abandoned building, where would she have time to go to like auditions? Where would she have time to do certain things? Like, you know, the ones there, like, because she's got to quickly somehow find a meal, and then she needs to find, like, she probably can't sleep properly all the way through the night because then she might get attacked some way, shape, or form by some mad people. So then she ain't got her security needs met. Like I said, she don't know when she's going to get a meal, so she hasn't got her basic needs met, her physiological needs at the bottom, or where she can get a drink from. You know what I mean? That's why we quite like. I seen someone like bin diving the other day, and I thought to myself, do you know what? We're kind of half blessed to have. So I thought, what would I do? And I thought this before, and we're kind of half blessed to have like hubs of discarded food about. Like, see a bin, you know that these bins about all over like in England. So you see a bin and it's like, oh, there could be something in there. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, rather just been flown, just trampled on and smashed. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously the bins aren't clean, but what are you gonna do if you haven't got no money? Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah. So it'd be hard for her to do what she's doing. Do you know what I mean? Normally things are kind of set, like, for us to be able to do things. So that's why, once again, first world country, third world and all this stuff, or developed world and developing world, I think it's, what do you call it now? Like, the developed world, us, you know, England, Europe, America, whatever, and other places, we can kind of make technology and do this and that and go to university if we want and do certain things because certain things are just taken care of. England, as an example, like, give you a house or some kind of shared accommodation, whether we like it or not, the basic need is met. Roof over body, not exposed to the elements. I don't get me wrong, I know there's nuances where it's fucked, but still, there's some countries where you get fuck all. No, do you know what I mean? They haven't got it to give. You know what I mean? Certain countries where it's acceptable to make your own dwelling, like over like Philippine sides and stuff. Like, it's just communities of self-built things, and people build like the community looks after itself. Do you know what I mean? Because they just use the stuff around them and stuff, and don't waste nothing. I think also probably like sometimes some places in Jamaica, and probably even like Brazil, maybe other places. I don't fully know. Do you know what I mean? I haven't been everywhere, so I don't know. Alhamdulillah. Where was I? Fucking hell. Yeah, that's it. What we get given. Then obviously we get benefits. I know bare people complain about the benefit system, it's not enough, and but there's some countries where you get no. It's not like an entitlement. Like, they give it you, like you are entitled to it, but it's not a given. Like, so we get money to buy food, to pay for the roof that's overhead. I don't know, it's expensive and it's just nothing. It's not easy, but they give something. Like I say, where some countries will give you no house and no money. So the money can provide some of the basic needs, like the physiological needs, like the food and water and stuff. They give you the house, which is like your security needs. Giving you that money is some form of security, but it's not enough, obviously. Love and belonging. Obviously, we're quite a fractured country at the moment. There is pockets in all communities where, you know, there's unity and people are good. People look after each other, which is good. But we're going down the other route of, you know, like, we're all quite fractured and we're all into trouble causing and badness. So it kind of breaks up our families. It breaks up our friends. We might still be friends with people, but we don't fully trust them, and they don't fully trust us because we're being a bit dodgy and they've been a bit dodgy because of this badness kind of thing. We'll move on from that. Esteem is what we're known for. Probably badness. Could be badness or some kind of fuckery. You know, reputation. People lean towards like the negative side of you. You might have gave them 1,000 cigarettes or 1,000 tools, or had them round to your house and they spent like 10,000 hours there or minutes. like when they've had nothing to do and you've spoken to them even when you hadn't wanted to. But then that one time you hadn't answered your phone, or that one time like you just couldn't be bothered, you got your own stuff going on. They've held that against you. That's who you are. You're that guy you're the person that lets people down. You're the person that turns your back on people. Even though you've supported them through 1,000 crises. Um, that one time that you couldn't possibly do it because you're on the edge, you're just branded as whatever. So that's what we're known as. So we're known as bad things a lot of the time, which isn't good. And then we sometimes play up to it, whether we know it or not. And then we just can't self-actualize. We can't be all we can be because we're too held back and fearful. One thing that I do like about conspiracies is when it says like the news and the media try to keep us fearful. I believe that. That's something that I do believe, because when you talk to people, like, just say you're going to buy a house, and people are like, oh, well, what about the crash? What about if it's like, all right, there's about 10 million homeowners, I'm just saying the number, 10 million homeowners that own their house. I'm not saying fully own it outright, but on a mortgage, and everything's going swimmingly. For 8 million of them or whatever, or 10 million, nearly 10 million of them, not everyone, but nearly 10 million people, 9.5 million or whatever, are doing fine. They work, their partner works, or they can afford it, inheritance, everything's fine, there's no worries. But then that one person on that one, or them three people on that documentary that you watched, or that news report, where it's gone all tits up in equity, the negative equity, and they're all this much, and they don't know what they're going to do, and they're stressed to death, and da-da-da. And now they're telling you, like, oh, but what about this, that, and the other? It's like, but what about the other fucking 9 million? They're doing fine. Why don't we talk about them? Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you putting your negativity on me about what these, like, what? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, so it definitely keeps people fearful, keeps people down. It keeps people from, like, wanting to step through their own fears to get through the smoke and think, oh, do you know what? I can exist up here. I can do what I want to do. I want to do this, so I'm going to pursue it, rightly or wrongly. Or just say you want to sing, you might not hit Taylor Swift heights, but you can go do like pub circuit or club circuit or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're still singing to a group of people that are enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? And once again, not everyone may enjoy it, but like, I don't like Taylor Swift music. It's not to say that she's not like still a wicked singer. And you know what I mean? What's my one opinion got to do with the other how many millions of fucking fans she's got? Do you know what I mean? Oh my dear, I've done it again, Anna. Just like the Beyonce Bees thing, like, what are Taylor Swift ones called? Like, don't come for me. I'm using it as an example. I love her. I've got the CDs. Shh, don't watch that. I'm trying to play the gangster. But yeah. So once and so like I said, so my childhood, a little bit neglect there. So love was a bit lost. I'm not fully in my cup of love that was always full. Like I said, to a certain point, it was always there. Then things changed, mental health declined, which then their behaviour then affected me. So some of my love was out of my cup. So I'm not fully full on the love thing. Always had security from my dad. And I could touch on the other ones actually, but I'll get back. I had security from my dad. Big guy, you know what I mean? Kind of known, uncle's known, kind of safe. So I've always been used to that. And then I got to a certain age where I thought, I can't rely on these. So that's kind of, security cup's being a bit emptied out. Back to basic needs, the physiological needs, like the food, the water. Oh, jeez. I haven't been sleeping properly because of this flipping hay fever's killing me bad. Anyway, so that's why I'm yawning. You know what I mean? I'm leaving it in, keeping it real. Yeah, so due to mental health decline of my mum, sometimes food wasn't there. Obviously, I could always get a drink. And yeah, so I have like funny things around that. Or had, but I still have a little bit. Right, what else? So love and belonging. Didn't really feel like my brothers wanted me, especially my older one. Did feel like one of my aunties did, and one of my cousins especially. So that was alright-ish. But on a whole, I kind of felt rejected because I'm in my own household and I can't have conversations with my mum because she's going through some stuff. So that's why she's drinking. Her mental health declining. She's drinking to cope. She's self-medicating. But it's having an effect on me, negative effect on me. So I felt abandoned. So I'm not feeling that love and belonging cup. Empty. Esteem, not really known for much because I'm just getting labelled as this, that and the other. half of it's lies because they can't face up to their own stuff, so they're just putting it onto the child when it's like, what can the child do wrong, really? Like, obviously, it can be bad and stuff, but for one, you shouldn't label a child bad. What they did was bad, or what you didn't like. They're not bad, they're just a person. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that cup, empty, and so there's no self actualization. So, drug dealing, that got me my food, water, this and that. I could get things. Do you know what I mean? Drug dealing, the lifestyle also brought love and belonging, which I got from the mandem a little bit. Like, they hailed me, but that was more my esteem needs. They're like, yo, got food. Deekers, holler at Deeks, do you know what I mean? Who's got food? The Jimmy's, Diesel, they're coming, like, it's mad. And then on a night out, obviously, you're looking fresh, you got your trim, your garms, you're with the mandem, you've got your drinks and stuff, constant flow, you're getting wicked and bad, you're fighting, you're showing off, the girl love it. So I'm getting that need. So the girl stuff is filling the need from the woman side of things, like the mum side of things, 'cause that's where the blueprint comes from. The mandem providing the security of the dad. So that needs getting met with a mandem. The money's filling in the basic needs. And where else are we? Oh, security. Obviously, the financial security. That's from the money. Being safe of body, securing body, like people can't attack me. That's reputation, which is coming from the dealing, from the violence, from the gang, from the mandem, that kind of thing. Doing certain exploits and whatnot, getting your name out there, like turning up sometimes, like to places and people already know you, and it just, you know what I mean? Telling you that people have left. People were here, but they've left because they know you. So you're feeling safe, and it's making you go deeper into that lifestyle to do more, to get that safety, even though you can expose yourself to more damage. So it never really balances out, really. Even like getting that love off the mandem, like, it's not. Well, some people are like that. Some people can, like, it don't matter what you do. But with us, you couldn't just have a job and be, like, rated highly. You couldn't just be going to college or uni and be rated highly. Like, you had to be on this thing. If you're not putting in work, if you're not mashing works, or like trapping, like, you ain't getting that. So you're not getting them needs met, that love and belonging from the man. So it's negative, is what I'm saying. Obviously, dealing is negative, so I'm getting all the basic needs met with the dealing, but that's negative. It's impacting other people. It's impacting me. It's obviously because I'm worried that my door's going to go through, like, it's going to knock onto my mum, which I'd kind of half not cared about because I was holding loads of resentment. So when something bad kind of happened, I was kind of a little bit low-key gleeful. Do you know what I mean? Because of all the hurt that I'd thinking, I was still traumatized. I was still, like, in a bad place. I was still victim. I was still that child victim. So even though I'm a man, adult, I'm still that child victim emotionally. So that's where that pettiness was coming in. Love and belonging from the girl. It's not real, is it? Because once you broke or once you fall off, they're not really there. Like, some of them are, don't get me wrong, not all girl, but a lot of the girl that are in the lifestyle are just not all well put together, just like the man them aren't. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just want a certain, and then if your level of, like, gangster's not hard enough, then they're gonna bounce because, for one, they probably got an ex that's like a bit mad, and they might think that person's better than you, which is gonna play with your head and make you do mad things. But they might bounce and leave you because they need someone that can protect them because they've left the madman and they're fearful. Do you know what I mean? So they're gonna move to another one. I spoke about it on another pod. Not sure which one now. But anyway, love and belonging, esteem. So yeah, obviously getting the esteem needs met it's doing this madness. So it's all negative. Basically what I'm trying to say, it's all negative behaviours that are playing out. So even though I'm doing all that stuff and getting all these needs met, I still can't penetrate that fifth level because I'm not actually set. So as much as I'm giving myself, I'm taking from myself. So I'm trapping, but I should be free. But I'm not free because I'm trapping. So the feds could come. Man could try and rob me. Obviously, I was getting robbed here and there. Like one man, I've had guns to my head trying to stick me up. Me dashed them away, got off. But snidey robs, like people knowing where you put your food. You know what I mean? Go in there. People watching your runners. Even runners like pretending that they've lost. You know how it goes. The game's mad. So then, obviously, mental health. Basically, mental health for me, just imagine a nice house. It looks nice on the outside, whatever the nicest house is, like, that you've seen or that you like. Forget mansion, just think of a normal nice house, yeah? Little 3-bed thing. Everything's done up nice. Everything's done garden fence inside. It's all nice and new. Like everything's nice. You've got all your stuff in there, TV and da 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 da. It's nice. But then mental health, yeah. Like, so that's kind of what we're born with in a sense, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of us, not everyone. And then where it is, little bits start going missing. Little bits are getting broken. Just imagine then someone's coming through with a hammer, smash your TV screen. There's not something else you can hit your TV with that's gonna fix it. It's a big long thing to get that TV, or you might have to get a brand new one. It's gonna cost P. So some way you're taking damage, do you know what I mean? Like either getting it fixed or like this, and then people are putting hold, like, come on, you can just go through a house. Imagine going to a house, nice house here, you got your hammer. You can do, and give you like 10 minutes and you say, listen, go sick. Like the hammer version of supermarket sweep. Go around rapid and do as much as you can, much damage as you can. Smash this, smash that, all the windows just with a hammer. Do you know what I mean? Holes in walls, bam, 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 all the flipping stud walls. Kick doors off, do you know what I mean? Smash the sink, smash the toilet, you can go mad in there. 10 minutes, you can create some mad damage. Now how long it's going to take to like get that house back to how it was. Water's flooding, sink, replace thousands. Tens of thousands. All the walls, all the plaster, like, you got mad on the stairs, booted fucking banisters off and flipping it's mad. It's mad, yeah? So that's what it's like with these little things. So I'm worried about the feds coming, boom, certain bits in my house getting smashed up. I'm worried about, and this is my mental health house, so that house represents my mental health. When it was all right, it was all right. But then the lifestyle I've got into and the people I'm around, people are robbing your stuff, like you're guessing, you never really know, you're holding man accountable and that, but and then sometimes you're doing things and it's the wrong person. Do you know what I mean? But you never know, because they'd say it's not them anyway. You know what I mean? So bits and bats, they smash up your house. So that's to get my basic needs meant to buy my food, to buy my pay for my rent or whatever I'm doing. Like living along with a man having to do other be violent back their shit. Do you know what I mean? You get into beef, it's not even your beef. You're worried about that coming back on you. So like you're doing it for the love, but then you're getting negatives. Do you know what I mean? So like I'm back in this shit with my boys to get their love and their to feel like I belong to this thing. But then it comes at a price, because now I've got enemies now. I'm worried. I'm scared. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't rest assured. I remember when I was in that lifestyle, I barely slept. I've been smoking ganja, yeah, and the sleeping wasn't even really sleeping. It was just like eyes closed, eyes open. There was no dreaming or anything. There was no blackness. It was just like anyway, yeah. And sometimes I wake up like boom, like whoa, not like that. I wake up and I think like whoa. Heart's like what is it? What is it? They owe somebody money. Did somebody owe me money? Did I do something? Is somebody coming for me? What is it? What is it? But it's not, it's just the remnants of some dream that I can't remember that I had. So I've got this feeling of dread that's hung over me to death. To death. And do you know when I did the TC? You know, from there, I was stopped smoking ganja a long time ago anyway. It's been like 7 years now. Over 7 years. But anyway, like, I used to have mad nightmares. I was getting stabbed left, right, and centre all the time. I couldn't differentiate. And then I've been in a situation in life where I think, I've been in this room before. Like, something's going to happen. Now I'm paranoid. Bam, 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 bam. I remember being there. But man, I've never been in this place before. Do you know what I mean? I remember being there, like, and people walking around, I'm juked up, like, just like, bad. Can't get up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's bad. And people just walking about, like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, oh my days, like, what's going to happen? Paranoid to death. Anyway, don't have that shit no more. Like, life is just sweet now. Anyway, when we get back to it, what else? So that's trapping. For feds to come in, worried about that happening. Like, or people trying to rob my shit, worried about that. Worried about people trying to, like, even set me up. So it's not even like being actually robbed. It's like worrying of somebody setting me up. Anytime I link a girl, like, I'd holler at a girl, whether in real life or on, like, Facebook or something. And then I'm getting paranoid. So I've hollered at them, but then I'm getting paranoid that they're trying to set me up. I probably even argue with them, like, yo, you're some set up, yeah. And they're like, but you hollered at me. But my mind is already... my mind is already set on that girl's trying to set... And where it was as well, half the time, like, yo, listen, I'm going to fucking go link this girl, I'm going to beat this girl still. Like, yeah, everything's blessed. Like, yo, shit's Chris. You know what I mean? Man then come around, bullet like a spliff, and then boom. But what if? Them man are there. Where's she from again? Let me check. The photos. I've seen that girl somewhere. Yo, it was mad. I ain't linking her no more. Not even answering the phone. Paranoid. She's ringing me. She's pissed. She's paid for hotel, champagne. I ain't turning up. Mental. She's had to get a substitute in or whatever because I spoke to her again. And she's like, you're a dick. Mad. So this is the life man's living. What else? Where else? So the trapping for that. The trapping for the belonging, but it's bringing all these bad feelings. The belonging, doing things for like with the man them, but then stuff coming back, being worried again from that. Held in high esteem, once again, having to do things to get that esteem, but then it's consequences of like things coming back on you, and it's never been able to break through. Like I always wanted to be like PT and that, and I did like an old YouTube channel back in the days, like 2014. It's still out there. Like I don't even know the password to the thing. Like it's just out there. Like, but I won't push it. I push this stuff now on my socials. Like it's still a bit hard. Like like I said, on about the image stuff, like how I view myself, but content not being, super upper echelon and people mocking it. But because when you put yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there to be mocked. Do you know what I mean? But it is where it is. It's just dealing with the feeling. Yeah, put it out there, feel a bit embarrassed, feel a bit vulnerable, but that passes, that bit's gone. No one's really saying nothing, just getting a bit of praise. People aren't, that one person said, oh, what you doing? Like, the things you talk about is a bit mad still. I'm like, yo, listen, that's all I need you to do, really, just support me. Like, forget all of that. Because when I look back, Sheffield, yeah? Not when I look back, but when I look round, Sheffield is just, who's doing bits, really? Like, there's bare people that could do bits, bare man, bare girl, old and young, that could do bits, but they just don't. But then you look at Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, Birmingham especially is one of my examples that I use all the time. Obviously London, because it's big. You know the ones there, and there's opportunity there, like money's just there. You know what I mean? But like Brum, like bare black businesses, like bare. Regardless if it's legal or what, like it's got a legal bit to it where you're still taking inventory, you're still getting stock in, you're still getting staff, you're still doing interviews, you're still this and that, this certainty. And we just don't do nothing. All we want to do, sit around and chat about fucking conspiracies, man. Like, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that right now. They probably do that too, but do that too. Not do that only. Do you know what I mean? Like, trust me, look around. Someone was said, oh, what you up to? I said, I'm working, this and that, 2 jobs, I'm doing this and that, Turn around like a bit like my plans and that. He's like, yeah, I'm like, he's like, oh, you've seen so-and-so? He's like naming people that we know, obviously. I'm like, nah. I'm like, oh, what is he doing? He's like, oh, this, like, this. And I'm thinking, what, why, still, just why? Just little divvy amounts of food, like, why? Like, you're way older than, like, I just don't know. I just think it's more habit of lifestyle over a necessity of needing it. Do you know what I mean? Because you can just get a job and just live nice. So, looking back at the needs, I've got a job. It buys my food. It buys my drink. Pays for the rent and stuff. You know the ones there, like, or whatever I pay. Basic needs covered off the job. Second job, feeling safe of body, financially secure. Safe of body, I just don't go out and about like that. I don't get mixed up in nothing. I hope people that, like, from the olden days, what we would call ops, enemies, I'm blessed. Do you know what I mean? I apologise for anything mad. We was kids, and that's that, innit? Like, there's nothing else I can say. Like, I'm not on no smoke. I'm not on no whatever. Like, just, you know what I mean? Let's just be normal. Like, hopefully we can move on. I don't expect everyone to move on. So if it's on, it's on. Like, what can I say? Like, I can't get onto man that are saying I can't let that go, what you did there. Because guess what? When I was in my thing, I couldn't let that go, what was done there. So if man want to come, they can come, because I get why you're coming. Hold on. Some words were said, I don't mean it like that. That's a why. Anyway. So I get it. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I have a right to defend myself. That's that. That's all I'm just on. Just legal. You know what I mean? I told you before, like me, I go to court. In that episode there, the ones like, I defend myself all day, all night. The ones like, I just don't care. Feds can't tell me no. Judge can't tell me no this time. Like, I'm defending myself. That's it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm not on no smoke. Apologise for anything I've done, sorry. Got myself off my point again. You know what I mean? But yeah. So, got the job. Security needs. Not on nothing. Don't go about nowhere. Like, don't cause nothing. I walk away from set things or I de-escalate. I just cut. I just leave it as it is. The only one's there. Like I said, unless someone touches me, then it's different. You know what I mean? But when it's words and words, like I've done some mad things just over words. Someone's saying something and I've done the mad one. Like, don't compute. Don't match. Like, don't match. It's like bringing a fucking nuclear warhead to to get rid of a fucking mouse infestation, you know what I mean? Just blow off the world up for just to get the rat catcher around to just put a few traps out and it's done after a fucking few days or whatever. Anyway, and I'm financially secure because I got the job. Love and belonging. I reach out to my people, a few people, couple people, and they reach out to me, and that's enough. Do you know what I mean? I do my duties as a friend, as a son, like, and that's all I can do. Like, I can't be anything else more than I am, but I can do what I think I'm supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? Not let feelings get in the way. I might not really want to do it. You piss me off, you upset me. You know what I mean? I'm annoyed. But feelings aside, I'm going to do it. Because I said I'm going to do it. And as a son or I'm going to still honour my duties that I'll do for life. And people generally do theirs because I'm setting that kind of level, that kind of example. Like, people are thinking, yo, he's doing it. Like, and I'm having these conversations and they kind of see where I'm coming from. So we're all growing together, we're learning together, and we're doing things together. And that's a bit of love and belonging. That's a bond. So it's growing slowly because there's been a lot of hurt. Love and belonging. Yeah. Even at work, got some great team members that are just there for me to death. Obviously, I look to them for quite a few things. 'Cause I'm new to the working game and how to deal with things and navigate properly. And like I said, I've learned to be able to take advice, not just like say, oh, do you know what, this is happening for me, and then them give me some advice. I'm like, oh, well, and my feelings are because I wouldn't deal with it like that, like me not do it. Like, nah, alhamdulillah. I'll be like, all right, and I'll utilise it, do what they said. I'll come back and say, yo, I tried it, I tried to do it, but I couldn't kind of do it. And they'll probably give me some more, like, yeah, I was, and it's still, this is always developing deeper and further, constantly developing. All right, oh, so you had that too. All right, boom, go back. When that arises again, try it again. I'm like, yeah, I did it this time. Did it all. And guess what? They did this. And I'm like, yeah, see, it's going to get used to it. Obviously, I know about getting used to it, but just doing something new. Arming yourself up with new tools for your toolkit rather than, oh, I can't do it, I can't do that, I can't talk to this person like that, I can't, whatever it may be. Yeah, so I've got great team around me. Esteem, being known for something. People know me for podcasting. People know me for fitness. People know me for my strength in the gym. People know me for even prison. Like, there's certain things that man is getting kudos for. Prison, amount of time. Obviously, I still get from like the roads a lot of like credit for how I was and stuff. So esteem needs a kind of met. At work, praise, you have appraisals, you have stuff like this, and then it's obviously off the cuff things. So constantly getting that there. But as I'm saying all this, there's no negatives. I've got a job that buys all my stuff for like my food, water, rent. What's the negative? Like when I was shouting, first gonna come kick off my door. What am I worried about? Working? Nothing. That's why I'm saying I should have been free, but I wasn't doing the shouting thing. Working, I'm just free. I'm just working. Good job. Very good job. Do you know what I mean? So there's nothing to... Next level, safety and security. Don't go nowhere. There's nothing to worry about. I'm not being safe from reputation. Obviously, there's a little bit of it. Still, people know what I'm like, that know me. Obviously, I know what they're like as well. They're wicked and bad. Do you know what I mean? But, so in that bit, that's kind of got that bit covered. But as for going forward, new things, got no to worry about. I don't put no bad vibes out, so I don't get no bad vibes back. There's a lot of dickheads out there still, little rat bastards that I'd literally give one slap to and give them whiplash. You know them ones? But the cheeky cunts, just regular people, like little nerds. Even girl, just chatting, big 6 foot odd, 17 stone, could throw you like a paper airplane. They're chatting shit with their road rage and their mad things, and It's mad. But obviously people going through stuff. I think I mentioned this before. On a Asda thing when I was on the next pod, on an old pod. But that's them going through some stuff, and that's why they're going off like that. You know, them ones there. So yeah, but there's nothing happening from it. Like it's not like I have clicked them, so now I'm worried about police coming or like I thought she was an idiot and she's just coming. I've told her shut up. Then do you know what I mean? She's telling me shut up. I'm telling her shut up. Whatever, we're arguing, and then she gave me a triple effective bird kick. Guess who it is? It's Chun Li. I didn't even know. Do you know what I mean? Like so now I'm in hospital. That's the consequence of that. So nothing's happened. So there's nothing to worry about there on the security of self-ting, financial security. I've got a job. That's it. Nothing's coming back from it. Let's go to the third level. The love and belonging. With a man them, I had to do a mazzoline. They had to do mazzolines so that we can always come back and say this and that. Or I'd be able to see it and I'd be like, yo, this guy's a mad. He's sick. Or they're just saying it to me. Deeks is sick. Don't have to do that at work or with my people. At work, I just do the work. I do what I'm contracted to do. I do what's in the job description. Do you know what I mean? I go out there, meet people, I chat to them. You know what I mean? They share, I share. We come to a conclusion. We draw up a plan. We make referrals, and we go through. You know what I mean? Time bound. We do it for a certain amount of time. Get them sorted. Off to the next one. That's it. Case studies. Commissioners are happy. Boom. Done. As for as for family, just do my duties. Just do my duties. Do you know what I mean? Might be ups, might be downs, regardless, still do the duties, and then we're cool. Like, no arguing, no this, no that. Might be disagreements, might talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Like talking away, tones aren't right, but we're just talking, getting our stuff out. And that's it. Good, like nothing to come back. Nothing to come back from. Like, esteem needs something with the road thing. I have to do X, Y, and Z. Like, just have to trap, just have to be violent, have to do this and that. Trapping, feds might come, people are trying to rob you, you're being violent, people want to come get you back, or might tell the police. Esteem needs at work, or with the family, or the podcasting. I do a podcast, don't get no replies, or people might be chatting behind my back. Like, not behind my back, but might be chatting that I can't hear. Like, they can chat, because everyone chats. I chat, like, about, I don't like that. That's not what I'm into. I don't watch that podcast. It's not what I'm into, kind of thing. Or I used to watch that podcast, but then they started going down this route, and it wasn't for me. I watch this person now. Do you know what I mean? Or them people. So on the podcasting, people might not like it, but the people that holler at me say, "Good work, carry on. You're chatting real. You know what I mean? You're genuine." Yeah. Fitness. What can people say about fitness? Like, I just do the fitness thing, and people ask me for advice here and there. There's no comebacks, basically. There's no comebacks from anything that I do. There's no comebacks. Like, but when I was doing the mad thing, told you, police, other man them, even my own man them, like, might try and rob me, do me out of, like, food, do me a bad deal, whatever, palm me off. And then now, after all that, I can then start to self-actualize because everything's covered. All the needs are covered. Please, as you're watching this or as you're listening to this, be looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And that's how I get my needs met. Them ones there. But we're going to talk about wants as well. So now I can be all I can be. Because all them things are done. But bearing in mind, you don't just hit them once and I'm going to get hungry again. And they go topsy-turvy. So I might be getting like all my stuff done in one day. Like, I spoke to my mum, for example, she's like praising me, "Oh, son, you did this and that the other day, seen this and that, yeah, it was funny and whatever, and whatever else that's that need done." That's level 3. Level 4 at work, just might have had an appraisal, feeling good, riding high, yeah, they're saying, "Yo, you're doing great at work, keep going, just fix up on this bit there," and you know what I mean, keep tightening, keep developing, you're doing well, you're on the right track. I might have, I'm going to be financially alright unless I spent all my money, which I never do, because I don't fucking do now, do you know what I mean? I save and I spend accordingly. Yo, Tesco, give me the deal, man. Give me the deal. I'm rocking your things, you know? We spend wisely around the shanty. And then, but food-wise, I'm going to get hungry throughout the day. So I eat, at least 4 times a day. Probably have a snack or 2. Might call it 6 times a day. So 6 times a day, my basic need at the bottom, physiological needs, is going to be coming up every time I need a drink. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be popping up 7 times through the day that I need to acquire. Like, I'm not going to make too bothered about doing a podcast when I'm starving. We're just going to jump straight into talking about wants. So we spoke about the needs. And I've kind of spoke about the wants. But I lined it up with the needs. So the needs that I spoke about is what you need in your life. You need that. But then our wants are basically our needs, but the wants generally aren't needed. So, what was I doing? So straight away, due to, you've heard me say about the neglect and whatnot growing up. The neglect that I perceived. So neglect is like an absence of care, absence of love. So I'm out there looking for that. When I felt like that disconnect with my safety, like what I believe that I got from my dad, when that was absent, because these are always absent and that's how we look for them. So to feel safe from others, join the crew, join the gang. To feel safe, I had to be violent, have a reputation. To be safe, weapons, it's a weaponized city. We have to use weapons. I had to, in my mind at that time, embroiled in that stuff in the roadside. Like, if I'm just like a little book guy doing book things, I'm not even involved in that lifestyle. Yeah, I might have got robbed, beat up once or twice, but it don't last forever. I could always move out of the ends or whatever when I could get my own flat somewhere or whatever. And that's it. People get robbed, people get beat up. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, so, but to never ever be victim of that, I joined the gang. And I'm not victim of that anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I'm doing more, so it's like it don't tally. Whereas if I'd never did it and someone did it to me twice in my lifetime, it would like being just forever in a day. And I'm already traumatized. So that's not traumatizing me when someone's doing it. It's like I've already been traumatized from witnessing other stuff or whatever. But I digress. Believe it or not. But yeah, so to feel that security, join the gang. Reputation, using weapons. For the love, that goes from both like the male and female. So that goes from like, say, from like my mum and my dad. So for that love and belonging from a woman, obviously I'm looking for women. And just constantly jumping in and out of like relationships or some kind of relationship, whether it's actually a relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend, or me and her doing bits or whatever, just some kind of something with a girl. And feeling, never really getting lovey-dovey, never really pillow talking or anything, just wanting that connection that was only really through sex. That was kind of how it was, where it's like that deep connection. And that gave me that feeling of, filled up that feeling of love. Made me feel like I belonged somewhere, like I was being cared for. I had that connection with somebody. But once it was over, it was like I'm not even bothered. Like I'm just not bothered no more. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's where I got that kind of love. Because I felt like it was absent growing up, so that's how I got that there. Never having a deep, meaningful relationship, never talking to anyone and cultivating that. It's just a physical thing. And then once again, for the love from like a male figure, was the love from the man them. Like them holding me really in high esteem or in some kind of esteem. And having that, like, never really having a dad that's been like, you know what, good son, like, good job, that, you know what I mean, or this and that, or giving me like life advice and showing me what to do, the ropes and that. Like, I learned, like, I had to be a man from the man them, or from watching the older man them, or from watching like Man in the Ends or whatever, like, or watching Tupac grew me up massively. Be 10 years old, stuck in Barnsley, listening to Tupac, like, he saved my life. Like, I didn't have anything when I was out there. Like, when I was out there, I might have been as well on the dark side of the moon. Like, it was just really hard for me, really difficult. And I didn't know how to cope, and it was Tupac that got me through. But seeds are being left and stuff, and the power of music, and as an older person, you understand how it affects. So the needs, so what I needed was that love and that care, and that's what I wanted too, but how I went about it. So when you go back your wants, so even like ganja, not being able to cope with the loneliness, not being able to cope with like even perceived neglect from not being like hollered at by the man them, by a girl. Do you know what I mean? If you're getting aired or whatever, escaping through just bullying a spliff or just going down to the local shop, grabbing 2 canai, busting like a drink or something, or just holding like a harder drink, like just getting some brandy or something, and just drinking, sat on your own. Do you know what I mean? MTV, bass, channel, them days there. Drinking. Go on the step, smoke a cigarette. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, to get away from those feelings of like neglect and stuff, and that's making me feel like I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm diverting a little bit with this, but it's what I wanted. I wanted to get away from it, but it wasn't the best thing for me to do. Do you know what I mean? Because to get away from that loneliness and that, because I wanted that connection, I wanted that something, I wanted that belonging. If you wanted a connection, you wanted that love, that belonging. Do you know what I mean? So that's the need that I need. I need a meeting. So once you start to understand this, it's like that's how you can make better choices in terms of how you operate in life. So if you are drinking a lot, are using substances and that, what are you escaping from? What is it that you're missing? What is it that you're feeling? Like, where else can you get it? Where can you get that like thing satiated? I'm going to go into something called the 7 pathways, which is the 7 pathways of life. For men, it's 7 pathways on the model that I'm talking about. And for women, I believe it's 9, because they have like, I think maybe pregnancy and sexual trauma, possibly, or like victim of sexual trauma, which not to that men don't have that, but this is a prison thing. This is from prison. So obviously in prison, they just deal with the 7 pathways for men, which is education, employment. They're not in a particular order. It's just where I can reel them off. So accommodation, education, employment, training, attitudes, thinking and behaviour. That's a massive one. So I've just changed my attitude, but we'll get into that soon on the next one. Possibly like when I've got a guest or something, so we can get deep. Because we're going to be talking about police, black on black, BLM, like bare mad things. Anyway, substance misuse, mental and emotional well-being, children, families and communities, and finance, benefit and debt. So once I understood these, and then reeled through my life what I knew, and filled them in bear in mind, this was a poster on the wall, just like them things. Do you need help with these 7 pathways? Did it? I inquired about. I'm like, what the fuck's this? I was like, oh, no one really knew. This one guy that had been in jail for time. One of them little divvies, the super gangsters flipping divvy bread dream, but hold tight him as well, because he been in about 8 or 10 years at that time as well. So fuck knows if he's out, because he would up for, I don't know. It's just all mad. People have got some like, and I'm not gonna get into his stuff because it's private. That's his. Yeah, looking over there, he's not even on the fucking board. I straightened that as well since I was watching one of the videos and it was a bit skew whiffers like me, but don't worry about the fringe. But no fringe. Don't worry about that bit. I ain't got a fringe. Yeah, so I just seen it there, and he explained it to some degree, like, oh, it's the things like that everyone in life's got, kind of thing, that everyone goes into employment and and whatever. So I kind of didn't get it, but then it kind of dropped a few months later. Then I thought, let me write these down, and then I just went through my own life, about all my own education, my own like employment, my own this and that, and then thought about where I could go with it, my finances, what finances I had. Found out how much it cost me to get out. Then when I realised, I think at the time, just for example, like it clocked up to about £1,100 or something. That's everything all in. It might have been less than that. It might have been about £700. So I'm talking like 2018-ish. I've done this. So we're talking, like 5 years ago. Bills are mad now. Bills will always be mad. 10 years from now, bills will be even madder. It'll always be mad. There'll always be a fucking crisis and whatever until, I don't know, wages are £50 a fucking minimum wage, £50 an hour. Anyway, where am I there? So, yes. So then I realized. So then it come down to like shutting, and the needs that shutting, like, it provided me a lifestyle. It provided me with these gear. It provided me with like my esteem. Do you know what I mean? It provided me with love and belonging. So it's like, where can I find that now? So then I thought, oh, do you know what? I like doing this. Like, I like supporting people. I like the counseling. I like personal development. I like mentoring. So I like fitness. It's all in the same vein. It's all helping someone get from here to here. Whatever their here is, it's helping them get from wherever they are to wherever they want to be, achieving their goals, yeah? And that gives me the same feeling. Like, I feel useful, like, kind of thing. I feel like I've got purpose. Like, that's the only time, like, when I'm trapping. When I'm not trapping, I feel like I'm just bunning ganja. I didn't know what I was doing. Smoking, drinking, whatever. When I'm trapping, I'm still drinking. But I'm not smoking. I'm not smoking no ganja. Like, I'm on it, alert to death. I mean, that's why I've never been jail. Allegedly, anyway, that I've been trapping. I've definitely been in jail. That's not allegedly. Fuck yeah, no. Thousands of days. Thousands of nights. Anyway, so once I realised how much a month I needed, that was with all the food, rough foot shopping bill, all the bills, car, petrol, insurance, home and contents insurance, everything, beer things thrown in. Emergency fund, throw in an emergency fund, like just putting like £200 or something extra or whatever I've said back then. And it probably comes to about £1,100 to say, for example, back then. And I thought, rah, when I'm getting locked up, I swear the average take home was about £1,200. So that's everything covered. I'll always have a roof over my head. I'll always have food in my belly. Do you know what I mean? I'll always be warm. Always have a car. Always be able to drive around and get about and that. Like, so I thought, why do you need to trap and make back, big stacks? For what? What is it doesn't make sense. Like when life's, so it's £1,100. It's a lot still, but it's kind of cheap still because you just get a one job, get the pittance that they pay you, and it covers it. Yeah, all right. I can't go out every weekend, but I don't go out anyway. I don't give a fuck about going out. Can't buy liquor and cigarettes and alcohol and ganja. I don't give a fuck. I don't buy that shit anyway. If I needed that, I'd be have no. Listen, it's mentally. I could go to someone, yeah. I could go to someone and say, "Yo, listen. You could be financially free in 5 years, yeah. All you need to do is not go out, not buy no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes for 5 years. Pay all your bills, everything else, stack. Not just the bills, your shopping, budget, no expensive garms, none of that nonsense. Like, yeah, catch a holiday, but just, couple days here and there, not big 2 fucking weeks and that couple times. Come on, do you know what I mean? People look at me like I'm mad. People look at me like I'm saying, listen, financially free, bro. Or sis. Man, look at me. Girl, look at me like I'm mad. I said, listen, what you need to do, just kind of do what you're doing. I don't even mention what they're doing. Don't even mention anything. Just be like, what you need to do, go online, buy some sage. Yeah? Couple of rocks, crystals and that, yeah? Whatever. Quartz and that. Put it then everywhere. Little one there. Put one a couple in your pocket. Manifest. And people look at me like, say, yeah, that's the thing. But like, if I said this to someone 5 years ago, where the person that's fucking stacked and didn't buy no drink or drugs or any substances, yeah, and budgeted, didn't buy no big up clothes, the shops at Primark here and there, because you don't need to look fresh all the time, as long as you ain't got holes in your shoes and your fucking, you know what I mean, junk's not showing and stuff, wherever your junk may be. That's it. Forget how fresh it look. Forget all that. Like, as long as because you're not buying clothes for you, you're buying clothes for the person that man would have given that advice to 5 years ago to now, the person that fucking practically did something and made those conscious decisions themselves where they had to think about things and become tactful and like I said, budget and ready to move the mic a little piece. Yeah, become tactful and be active in their own life's change, their own lifestyle change, yeah? They would be financially free now. And you know where the courts people would be? In the stones and that, and the sage? Same place. But that's not exactly true. They will be somewhere better. Nowhere near the same place as the person that actively did something. Took control of their own life. The person that kind of just fell through life and just didn't take control, because no one wants to take control of their own life. Everybody wants it to just be like, just be able to buy something and it change. Pay for something and it changes. Do you know what I mean? They will, it's one of them. If I'm going to buy a red Golf, have I said this already? I'm saying it again. If I'm going to buy a red Golf, yeah, if I'm planning on buying it, do you know what? I'm going to got some money, I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy a Golf. I want a red Golf, Volkswagen Golf, yeah? For all my people that are listening, all ta country, OC, you know what I mean? And the people, all team, you see them on the map there. You see it? Hold tight, you guys, America and London and them one there. Anyway, all I'll be able to see is red Volkswagens, Golfs. Like, oh, everyone's got a Volkswagen, now that I've got one, I want it. No, it was always there. It was always there, my mate. You are just at the forefront of your mind now. So now you're aware and you're spotting it. Basically, it's the same thing what I'm saying about all this stuff that I've been saying about all this time in terms of like the counselling that I've been doing, bringing this stuff to our awareness and we can see it. Do you know what I mean? If you still can't see it after all this time, if you've been watching me or listening to me for a while, you still can't see it. Why? Someone's not thinking about it. Someone's not brought it to the front of their mind. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, if I'm gonna buy some Air Forces, purple Air Forces or whatever, just pick a mad colour. All I can see now, purple Air Forces. Everyone's wearing them, I'm telling you. Do you know what I mean? I'll be telling me people, I say, yo, listen, we'll get some, yo, trust me then. I'm out there in town and all I can see is people in, yo, the phone's listening to me and all, the Matrix. Going mad. Anyway, but not to get onto you people. Everyone do what they want to do. It will get you better because, like I said, it will be spotting certain things because it's at the forefront of the mind, whatever going to manifest. And then it starts to dictate your decisions. You're making better choices. But they'll, trust me, you got to get active. So yeah, that's for the wants really. So what you want is not always the best for you. So you want in the same needs met, but how are you going about it? And yeah, to be honest, I think we're just going to wrap this one here real quick. Wants and needs. The wants can be destructive because the wants is what are our reaction. They are reactions to how we were brought up. So we're neglected, we felt abandoned, we felt alone. So let's jump into any relationship. And they end up being toxic, and we're toxic as well because like we don't want it to fail. So we've got a bit of borderline personality where you don't want that person to leave, but you push them away with your behaviours, and then when they do leave, you say, "See, I told you," and things like this. But whereas if you were to focus more on your needs and think, right, I don't want to be alone, so okay, boom, I'm gonna go to the library. For example, I'm gonna be around people there. I'm gonna go to a local shop, start a conversation with the shopkeeper, and I'm just gonna go home. I'm just gonna cope with how I feel. Do you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. I'm just feeling a bit lonely right now. And that's that. That is, if you're not with someone, you will feel lonely. If you don't feel lonely when you're not alone, then what's that about? You're alone. So you're going to feel lonely. But I know what we're saying. There's levels to the thing and we don't want to be feeling that deep loneliness, you know what I mean? Which leads to low mood and depression and the like. So yeah. But yeah, so the wants, like I said, if you're going down the drugs route, any substance, alcohol, what you're running from, what you're looking for. If you're going out all the time, like I know a lot of people go out all the time, every weekend, a couple of times a week without fail, through the week, kitchen raves, round people. Because they want that belonging. They want to be somewhere, they want to be around people all the time. But is that the most beneficial? You probably want something more in life or you want to go further, but you keep spending your money so you can never break that ceiling because you keep tumbling back down every time you get paid. You're ending up with like peanuts again. And you're thinking, oh, I need a better job, I need this and that. No, the best way to have more money, or the easiest way to have more money is to save. You know, anyone's there. Preach. Yeah, so if we can just look at our needs and see how else we can go about getting them. So like I said, when I was on road, all I could do to get myself up was to trap. Because straight away, arms are fresher. I felt better myself. I'm going gym now. I'm buying the protein. I'm getting in shape. I've got the money to go out downtown, buy the fresh garms, get the girl, whatever. Like, when I'm not trapping, there's none of that at that time. But now, obviously, I'm not feeding into any of that. I'm not bothered about all these girl. I'm not bothered about going out. Like, don't get me wrong, I still get the pangs sometimes. Like, yo, I want to go out. But it's just like a feeling. And feelings pass. Just like the weather. It's one weather one day, it's another weather another day, or later that day. Like, that's feelings. They just come and go. But sometimes we can hang on to them. And it's not even a feeling. We hang on to it in our mind. Because we're replaying the same tapes. We need to click, eject, open it, take that tape out and put a nice fresh tape in. But I'm not going to go down that route right now because this is wants and needs. So just think about your needs. Google it. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Or even write them down. Write down each one. Sleep. Where do you get sleep? Obviously your bed. Do you know what I mean? Well, some people won't have a bed. Some people have a hard floor outside. You know, the ones there. So thank you. Like, feel lucky to have what you've got. You know what I mean? As much as I'm talking about job this and job that and it's good and that, that's with anyone. Anyone, like, you know, some people like the job, some people don't. I do like my job. But I'm only one paycheck from being broke. Only one paycheck from being broke. Forget something like, boom, then what? Just as with anyone. We're all one. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hand-to-mouth society for now. But these ways to make P and upgrade, and we'll get a bit more into that when we do the 7 pathways. I want to do the 9 for the women because the other 2 I don't have no the 7 the women can learn from as well. But as for the other two, I don't know about pregnancy. I don't know about sexual trauma. So I'm not gonna like speak on that because I don't know it as robustly as I know the other stuff that I talk about, and I wouldn't even dare to try. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll do the 7 pathways. It's the same thing, same way anyway, just with some additions that are more specific to certain people. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Appreciate everything. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like I say, appreciate all the people that are listening overseas. What a privilege. Little old me. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, Marcus, DQ Lifestyle Podcast.